Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, making a potato bowl. It's going to have some nice onion in there. It's going to have asparagus. See, I got beautiful asparagus right here, you guys. And it's going to have potatoes too. So I'm going to chop up some asparagus and get it going right away. We're talking about today how incredibly important it is when you're sick that everything you do matters, right? We don't want to go 10 steps ahead and then go 25 steps backwards. We don't want to do that, right? We want to go ahead, and if we go backwards a little bit, it's only in the natural process of healing, and then we go ahead even more. So it's like the 3 steps up, 2 steps back sometimes. Boom, 3 steps up again, 2 steps back, right? 3 steps up again, 2 steps back, right? And we don't want to go ahead. We don't want to go 3 steps up, 25, 30 steps back. And that's what's happening with so many people trying to heal with so much information out there, just letting you know. I want you guys also to check out a podcast episode that I just listened to that blew my mind, okay? It's Reframe with Jenna Zoe. That's the podcast, right? And what's incredible, it's with Heal with Amber, right? Amber Visicaro. Some of you guys probably know who Amber Visicaro is, right? She's Heal with Amber. And Heal with Amber's on there. And she's talking to Jenna Zoe. And they're both seasoned in so many experiences in health, right? And they're talking about medical medium information. And I listened to it, and I was blown out of my seat when I was listening. Just blown off my seat, really. So check it out. It's Reframe with Jenna Zoe. That's the podcast. It's the podcast episode 24 with Jenna Zoe interviewing Amber Visicaro, which is Heal with Amber. And after you guys, later on when you get a chance or anytime, whenever you get a chance, the link is in the description for this podcast episode that I heard. You get a chance, share it with everybody you know. Share it with anybody and everybody. When I listened to it, I was like, huh? I was just blown away. They're discussing medical medium information, discussing their experience. Anyway, we're live right now, making a potato bowl. Lorraine L, I saw you come on. Michelle L, I saw you come on. Elena's on. Everybody's coming up right now and coming on. And this is an important episode because you don't want to go 10 steps ahead and 25 steps back. And what do we need to not let that happen? How do we avoid that from happening? How do we look out for ourselves as we're trying to heal? Like, how do we avoid potholes? I call them potholes. I always did, right? Snags, potholes, right? And I want to talk about that, but I want to cut up some asparagus. Margaret Valentine, good to see you. Coming on. You seem fine to me. Chris, what's up? What's happening? Chris, are you going to be watching IG later? Going to be on IG later. TikTok, right? 369 too, even after that. I'm going to steam up some asparagus right here. I'm going to get it cooking. Yeah. So we're doing that. Let me go get a utensil too. Cooking utensil. That would be nice to have one there. I got asparagus in the pan. So you guys, it looks like we're censored tonight to a point that's to a level I've never seen before. So there's only 200 people on in total between YouTube and Facebook. So we are actually super duper censored. So this is very interesting. That means no one's allowed to come on tonight. So if you guys made it on, it's a miracle. I'm just letting you know it's a miracle. So anyway, I mean, seriously, that's like as censoring can ever be. Well, look, it's an intimate, small crowd. It's good. I like that too, so I don't mind. So I'm going to get the lid on here, just moving around, getting it to kind of take. So I got some asparagus. I'm steaming up. I'm making a potato bowl. And I want to tell you guys, first of all, what I do every day, right, or every other day and so forth, I take a bunch of potatoes, I cook them up, I steam them up, right, in a steamer, right? And I have all these potatoes, and then I put them in the fridge. And I don't put a lid on them in the fridge because the potatoes can get kind of spongy, right? So I don't like to I don't like to put a lid on a bowl and have potatoes in it that way. I like having the lid off the bowl when it sits in the fridge. So when I steam a whole bunch of potatoes, I like them kind of like dry, like a little bit dry. And to do that is I put them in the fridge. It's just the way I like it. You might like it where they're moist after you steam them and they're moist, right? You might be somebody that likes that way. Hi, Monica. Glad you're coming on there. And so what I like to do is keep them kind of like in the fridge with the cover off, right, of a bowl, or no saran wrap on there or anything like that. And then I like the air just getting to them in the fridge, and then they stay in a way where they keep dry inside. It's just a little trick I want to give you right now. Nicholas says, how long do you steam them? You got to steam them till the fork goes through them, right? That's what you want to do. You don't want them hard in the center. You want to steam them, and it depends on where you are, what altitude you're in, right? We're around the world. It could be at a higher altitude, lower altitude. So I can't give you a time because it may not be the same time, right? And you might have hard water, you might have soft water. All these things make a difference, right? So when you're steaming, but you want to steam them till the fork goes through, right? You want to catch them. You don't want to overcook your potatoes, but you want to make sure they're steamed all the way through. So your fork goes through, right? So that could be 45 minutes for someone. It could be 40 minutes for someone, depending on where they live, what kind of water they're using. It could be an hour. This is important information, right? And so these are steamed potatoes that are already steamed. And then I have like this big bowl of steamed potatoes, right, guys? And then I could use them in the way I need to use them, where I could use them for different things. And I'm going to reheat them in this pan in a little while and make a potato bowl. So I'm excited. All right, so I got the asparagus steaming right here. 27 minutes for you, Chris Wood. Really? When you steam potatoes? Wow. Just saw Ashley Kiven. Hey, Ashley, glad you're here. Yeah, amazing. So anyway, guys, got this steaming. So let's talk about some fun stuff and cover some important information, right? What happens with what's going on out there, there's so much information just swimming around in the alternative arts, right? So what happens is you get sick, okay? You go to your conventional doctor, right? And your conventional doctor is like, well, let's just try to figure this out. And you're in for the ride, okay? And it happens to people who are really sick, or they're getting sicker. They're in for the ride now. Doctor wants to draw some blood. They take a little too much blood. They take a little too much blood. They're taking 5 full vials, 7 full vials, 10 or 12 or 14 full vials, and they start removing your immune system, right? Without realizing it, without even knowing what's wrong with you to begin with. So they start removing your white count, right? And your red count, right? Pothole number one. Pothole number one, okay? And I've talked about that, and you guys know how it works, where you can talk to your doctor about like half vials and so forth, because the labs take half vials, the labs take quarter vials, right? And then maybe scheduling more appointments at the doctor for blood work where you're doing some tests, so you divide the tests. Elena, Anthony, my white blood count went back to normal range after your protocol and supplements, and they were really low for the last 5 years. Thank you. So proud of you. I'm so proud of you. That matters because that can really help you heal. Incredible. And so you go to your doctor, and now your doctor's like, well, let's try to figure out what's wrong with you, right? And they run some tests. They'll do some blood work. And what happens with people, that's just the beginning of the rodeo. So that's just the beginning of the rodeo. That's the start of the rodeo, That's the start of the musical chairs. They haven't even gone into alternative venues yet, alternative medicine yet, alternative directions yet. They haven't even gone to there. They're just in the realm of like you go to your first doctor. And what happens is then when you're not getting better, you go back to your first doctor, then you go back to your first doctor, and then you go back to your first doctor. And then a family member's like, you got to go see another doctor. Or your doctor says you got to go see another doctor, a specialist. And now you're off to see another doctor, another specialist. And this could last 20 years for someone. Doctor, specialist, doctor, GP, specialist, doctor, DO, whatever. And then all of a sudden now you're into alternative medicine. And now you're into naturopath, herbalist, nutritionist, naturopath, herbalist, functional medicine doctor, Chinese medicine doctor, herbalist, naturopath, functional medicine doctor. Now you're doing this, right? And then, but what's happening too is in the alternative arts, healing arts, there's all this information that's swimming around. And that information doesn't mean it's the best information. Okay? Doesn't mean that's the information or the tips or the different trends or the different style that's out there or the different diet is going to be right? But one thing's for certain is, Elena says they took 1 or 2 vials from me this time. Thank God. And I wouldn't allow more. Mind blown. Mind blown. Because I know you're taking care of yourself. Mind blown. All right? Incredible. Okay? It really is. That's incredible. All right, so Michelle L says, I've done it all. And Michelle, I believe you. And I know you have. I know you have. So anyway, we end up trying all these different things all of a sudden. And we don't know what's really working or not for us. We're kind of up and down, up and down. We don't know what's really working, you know. Is it the keto diet? Well, you got off processed foods, so that's helping. Is it maybe you went vegan and, you know, because you went vegan, you got off all these processed foods, right? And fried foods. Maybe you're trying a bunch of different supplements. So your doctors are loading you up with all these different supplements. And maybe there's something in some of those supplements that's actually giving you something, yeah. But there's also things that we get hurt by that sends us back, right? I've seen for years good-hearted, good, compassionate, natural doctors or naturopaths or really good chiropractors or, you know, good MDs, right? Whatever, that are giving out all these supplements. They wholeheartedly want you better. They want you to heal. But there's alcohol in all their supplements. Alcohol. I've seen this for years, okay? I've seen this in the alternative healing arts with a natural doctor out there, okay, that has a lot of programs out, all right, but was just constantly dumping all these alcohol, you know, all these alcohol-filled supplements. And that's already a no-no. You can't get someone to the finish line when maybe one person you'll get close enough because you're doing all these other good things, but the alcohol supplements will stop somebody from getting to the finish line, and then we go backwards. And that's just one thing, right? I'm just using it as an example. And so, and then there's the whole thing where when someone gets sick and they're really getting sick and they're really sensitive and anything could kick them downhill. And then now we're in the land of the lost. And it matters. Like, we can lose ourselves. We can lose ourselves in that fight. Kim Pave said, I couldn't even get out of bed and listen to your podcast on my way to the Mayo Clinic for answers with my anti-nuclear antibodies. Next day, I bought your book, a juicer, celery, and 3 days later, I felt great. Now I'm on supplementing heavy metal detox and 369 cleanses and feeling amazing. Thank you. Incredible. I mean, and you know how to stay out of trouble. Because there's all these landmines, and I call them landmines. By the way, Karen Churchill was diagnosed with 15 autoimmune diseases, ... Having followed AW, that number is going down one after the other. Even had my doctor say I could not heal from diabetes. Incredible. Really incredible. I got to play onion games, Lorraine. I have to play onion games again. So, letting you know, the onion games are going to actually happen with this meal. And Michelle, I think Michelle said that too. Ichota, you're here tonight. Amazing. So, anyway, guys, we're talking about how to protect yourselves, what to look out for. You don't want to go 10 steps forward and 25 steps back. You don't want to go 3 steps forward and 10 steps back, right? You want to go 3 steps forward, another 3 steps forward, another 2 steps forward, another 1 step forward, another 2 steps back, but you're already way ahead of where you were when you started. And then, boom, 3 steps forward again. Now you're 1 more step ahead of the 2 steps, right? And so it's this whole thing. Even if it feels like you went 10 steps back, but you're healing and moving forward than you ever did. And I want to talk about something else, but we don't want to really go backwards and we never get to heal and we're stuck and we can't go forward and we never get to be where we need to be. We can't get there. We don't want to go there. We don't want to be there, right? Really important. So let's go into a different aspect of this, which is critical. Let me get the white blood cells and the CBC off my little counter here, my little board. And let's talk about like some of the fundamental like rules. I could call them rules, I guess, right? Because we can make our own rules, right? And we can make our own way, right? And we can choose what we want to do in medical medium information, what direction we want to go in, right? And one of the ways I do it with friends or family that decide, hey, I want to do this, right? A friend will call me up, I haven't talked to in years, be like, look, I need to heal. I'm really sick. What do I do? And I'd be like, first of all, get rid of the troublemaker foods. How many troublemaker foods can you ace? Or 86? How many troublemaker foods can you get out, right? Like which ones? So my friend would be like, well, what do you mean? Like milk, cheese, butter, okay? That's important right there for troublemaker foods. And you know, so for example, like, okay, everybody loves the cheese sticks, right? They love the cheese sticks. I got some cheese sticks here, right? Everybody loves their eggs. It's a half hard-boiled egg, right? Everybody loves their cookies. Everybody loves their bread, right? Okay, and that's one there. Everybody loves their chocolate too, right? Their ice creams. Everybody loves all that. And it's like, what can we remove, right? Some of you guys are like, that's easy. I don't need any of that. But then I'll talk about other stuff too that we got to worry about. And a friend of mine will be like, what do you mean I can't have cheese? So, okay, I don't eat cheese. That's what they'll say, right? I've heard this a million times. I don't eat cheese. I hardly eat cheese. I don't eat cheese. Meanwhile, if you really go through everything that they ate that week, there's cheese everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, they had a slice of pizza, sure. They had something else. They had a salad with cheese, crumbled cheese on top, right? They had something with blue cheese. They had something with something else. They had whatever it is, cheese is everywhere. They had pasta with cheese on there, right? And so that's one thing right there that just has to go. If you want to heal, it's about moving some of these things out. These are basics, though. They weren't basics. They weren't basics 35 years ago, right? People wanted to chop off my head when I would say you got to get rid of the cheese. It was so foreign, and so unbelievable. People would look at you in disbelief. You're even saying remove the cheese 25, 30 years ago. 20 years ago, like remove the cheese. What? And and that's how it works. And then the gluten too. So it's another thing. You want to get the gluten out of there. Austin, you're on tonight? Good to see you. Get the gluten out. Get the cheese out. Get the milk. Get the butter out. You can't heal and still eat butter. Now, someone will disagree. Someone will disagree with that right there. Someone will say that's not true. I got off of processed foods. I got off of fried foods. I started eating a very healthy, organic, pasture-raised diet. I started, taking care of myself. I got this incredible, incredible butter, right? I got this great butter, and I churned it myself, right? Which is better than buying store-bought butter, definitely, and better than buying butter that's not good. I raised the animals myself, or I bought it from a farm where they take care of the animals, they raise the animals, and I can, and the butter's so good, and I'm healing. Well, then you just aren't that sick. You're just not that sick. One thing people will do, too, is to state their case. They'll say they were sicker than they were. Now, in all fairness, anybody who's sick with a symptom, I'm fighting for. Always remember that. But I also know the reality when it comes to stating your case on social media. I've seen a lot of people where, and first of all, I've talked to a lot of doctors that know their patients' cases, right, and everything. I've talked to a lot of different people, and I've heard from all kinds of people along the way too, professionals that tell me, well, this person, yeah, they got some fatigue, but it's nothing like this person who can't budge and get out of bed. So see the differences? But yet the person who's got fatigue might actually express that they can't get out of bed, but they're out every day, right? They're living their life still, And I get it. There's moments where they probably can't get out of bed. There's moments where they're stuck. But then there's somebody who's really stuck, like really stuck, where they get out and they're like, they can't even get through a kitchen chore. Like they couldn't even imagine being here and doing this like for like a half an hour. It's not going to happen, right? But then you can get somebody who's, yeah, they got fatigue. Yes, they're sick. Yeah, they got some low-grade viral infections. Yeah, all the things that medical information is about, right? But they're able to actually still take care of themselves. They're able to still do things. They're able still to function, right? And that kind of person might go on this clean diet, right? And then do this homemade butter thing and be like, I'm getting better, I'm getting healthier, I'm doing the clean butter. But when you're really sick though, right? And really struggling, that's when you know mice are men. That's when you know make or break. That's when you know do or die. That's when you know is it right or wrong. That's when you know it's going to work or not. That's when you go good or not, right? That's when it's going to be the deal breaker. The deal breaker, right? You can go around not that sick and be la-di-da-da-da. I got this gluten-free bread, la-di-da-da-da. I could do the coconut ice cream. Oh, no, that's the coconut vegan ice cream. Yep, that's right. Okay, I can just go through life. Yeah, I'm sick. I'll go see my acupuncturist for a little tune-up. I'll go see my massage therapist for a little tune-up, I'll go hop into a sauna somewhere. I'll go do an infrared sauna. I'll do a foot bath, right? Yeah, I'm sick. I'll go to see my functional medicine doctor. He'll load me up with the supplements he thinks. He'll load me up with the gut health supplements. He'll load me up with ever, right? But they ain't that sick. There's these different levels of, there's the not so sick, and I've talked about this, guys, and there's the so sick. There's the sick. There's the not so sick and the sick. And then there's the not sick. They're not sick yet, right? And, right, there's the not sick. So, Skybird Clay said, I stopped taking BP meds because my BP was always up. My BP is going down with celery and detox with a heart. And lots of eating clean. Can't wait to get my supplements and start the 369 cleanse. Skybird, incredible. Incredible. Mind-blowing. So, you know what I mean? You got the not so sick and you got the sick, right? The not so sick can afford to play around. Do some yoga here. I'll go do this juice here. I'll go do this gut health product here. I'll go do this protein powder here. I'll dump some apple cider vinegar here. I'll go listen to my guru here. I'll listen to my other doctor here. I'll go get a ton of blood taken out here, right? Whatever. And they're hanging in there. They're hanging in there. They're not so sick, okay? But when the not so sick start going over time, whether it's 5 years later, 2 years later, whatever it is, or they're moving out of their 20s. They're not 21 anymore. They're not 23 anymore. They're not 25 anymore. Not 27 anymore. Whatever it is, moving into their 30s, or they're not 35 anymore, and they're moving in, and then they're getting sicker. It could be any age. This happens. And that's when, it's make or break. All these things count. Every last bit of it. All these little things matter. You're traveling and your luggage goes through that radiation, right? That luggage goes through the radiation and you're traveling, right? You know what I love about live? You know what I love about doing it live? You can actually not put enough water in a pan because you're too busy teaching, and you lose. The asparagus are actually done, so I got to take them out. But anyway, the point is when we're in that position, right, where every little bit counts. You got your luggage glowing in the dark because it's going through the radiation machine, okay? And you're getting all that radiation because your luggage is so filled with it. Because I talk about how you got to throw out your luggage over time. I talk about that. I'm going to actually take the asparagus out and get it ready because I got to cook some other stuff for you right now. But the bottom line is all these things matter. And you guys, I love having you in my kitchen. I got to be honest. It's the best, okay? It's the best to have you guys in the kitchen. These are actually really done. They cooked really quick. Do you ever guys ever find the asparagus that are big like this? These are new asparagus. They're not the old asparagus canes. You know, I'm sure you guys know your asparagus by now, right? Many of you probably already have known it all your life. But these are the young asparagus right here, the thick ones, the thick, juicy ones. They're so good for you. But listen, here's the other thing. Doesn't mean don't do your asparagus, right? Understand this part right here is that you can do the skinny asparagus, which is an older asparagus, meaning the canes are older, the asparagus is older, right? And it's medicinal too. There's two forms of like medicinal when it comes to asparagus. Two levels of medicinal. There's a level of medicinal with the young asparagus, which is juicy like this. Okay. There's a level with that, and then there's a level with the older asparagus, which is like really spindly thin. Have you guys ever seen that? It's really thin. So what I'm going to do is chop up a little onion. So we're going to play onion games, as Lorraine L. said. I think a couple people were saying it too, which actually made me laugh. Someone might think, what's Medical Medium talking about right now? It doesn't sound that interesting. But this means everything when it comes down to healing, just so you know. It means so much when it comes down to healing. I'm going to be straight out about that. You guys, can you hang on for 1 second? I just got to get some onions. I'm back. Medical Medium in the house. The guy just came on. I was talking about earlier how Jenna Zoe is the host of her own podcast, Reframe with Jenna Zoe, right? And she had Amber Issaccaro on, and that's Heal with Amber, okay? And they're talking about medical medium information. And I just listened to the podcast episode, and I was blown off my seat, just letting you know. Check it out when you can, you guys. Like, check it out. The link is in the description. They're very seasoned with what they went through themselves. Amber's very seasoned with how she helps people. So she actually works with people. And she's very seasoned healing with Amber. And I was mind blown on how much knowledge they had in general. I mean, because the knowledge was, they had just so much experience. When you hear their experience, you're just like, oh my God. I mean, it's a lot of experience. And then talking about medical medium information. Anyway, I recommend listening to it. So I'm going to caramelize some onions, if you guys don't mind. I got the heat up on this. All right. And onions can kind of, when you caramelize them, they can kind of, maybe one onion's all I need for this. That could work good. So, okay. So anyway, back to the potatoes. We'll cover that a little bit too. After I caramelize the onions, I'm going to work with the potatoes, right? And you guys, if you just came on here, I got some incredible asparagus, the big juicy ones. I put it in the side of the bowl because what I'm doing is I'm making a potato bowl, and I'm going to do the asparagus, the potato, and the onions. It's going to be a great bowl of food. Yeah, I'm not crying while cutting them. That's coming, Elena. That's already on its way. It's already on its way. So, Tara Appleman, good to see you. Incredible. Honored you're here. It's an honor to have you here. Awesome. Tara's so awesome. So these are pre-steamed potatoes is what these are. So pre-steamed potatoes. And I'm going to chop them up in cubes is what I'm going to do in a little bit. The onion's already hitting me, so letting you guys know. Lorraine, you're laughing? So I like to prep ahead of time on this dish. So I already have my potatoes steamed. I'll make a big bowl of potatoes, put it in the refrigerator, let it sit in there. And as I was telling everybody earlier, I don't put a lid on it because they get too moist in there. And they start getting a little moisture built inside of it and they get a little spongy. So I don't like that. I take the lid off so the lid's not there. And then I keep it in the fridge and I let them kind of dry out. So if I need them in there for a day or another day and I need them in there, I have them there and I could use them for all these purposes. That's what I love. So, you seem fine to me, Chris. Hey, talk about gout. Gout's the liver. That's the liver. That's when the liver is, the liver has said, I can't handle protein anymore or fat. The liver's just like, I'm done. I can't handle protein or fat anymore. And sometimes the liver can get pushed over the edge for people. And then the liver gets deficient. Like it gets deficiencies. So your liver's now deficient. Your liver is your vitamin converter. That's your vitamin and mineral storage bin, right? The liver just holds it all. Chris, thanks for because I wanted to talk about gout a couple times and I keep on forgetting and I want to talk about gout definitely. So when it comes down to the liver, okay, if your liver is really overburdened, okay, and you're getting those purines and stuff, and when I just want to keep an eye on those. Hold on. I don't want to do what I did to the asparagus with the onions this time. And what happens is that when people are worried about their diet, they're worried about purines and everything else, and all that's happening. I want to talk about that. So what I worry about when you have gout, what I worry about is protein and fat. Protein and fat. That's how it goes wrong with gout. That's my concern. And a concern that I've taught doctors over time. It's a very important concern. And gout is something that is fixable. It can heal. It probably one of the easiest things that can heal that I've seen. It's like diabetes too. Type 2 diabetes, easy to heal. Gout, easy to heal. That's when we just have to care for the liver. And you know what happens with gout is, Chris, you know what happens? A lot of people with gout, not everybody, so, but a lot of people with gout, they'll have skin problems, dermatitis, they'll have eczema, they'll have psoriasis when they have gout, right? They have skin issues, or their skin is just terrible. Their fingernails are terrible. Their toenails are just god-awful, right? Like a lot of that happens too. Now you might be somebody with gout and you don't have any of that yet. And you might have a different variety of gout where it's not like gout in your feet. It's not gout in your toes and ankles. It's gout somewhere else in the body. And the doctor's like, I don't know what to call this thing. I'm pretty sure we're dealing with gout. Smoky Mountain Paradise. Good to see you. And so the whole thing with gout is about cleaning up the liver. My number one concern is protein and fat. Those are two things that the liver said, I'm done with. I can't handle anymore. I don't want anything to do with it. I can't handle the protein, can't handle the fat, and that's what the liver does. Then you go deficient. People with gout, they get all these mineral deficiencies, all these vitamin, nutrient deficiencies, these phytochemical compound deficiencies. That's what they get. Because their liver's like, well, I can't process the vitamins anymore. I can't store the vitamins anymore. There's too much fat in here. There's too much desiccated protein stuck inside the liver. Everything's gummed up. The inner works, the water works inside your liver are just done. The liver's not, it's not that you're in liver failure or anything like that. That's not it at all. You can have gout, your liver seems okay. I've seen people with gout don't even have elevated liver enzymes, but their liver's trashed. Because it's not always black or white, black and white. It's not always like that. It's not always just, it's not 2 + 2 = 4 when it comes down to that. So somebody might have elevated liver enzymes with gout. Someone might not, right? Someone might have a bilirubin off the chart with gout. Someone might not, right? So these things are really important to know. But that's what I always tell people. So if you're on a vegan plant-based diet, be careful on how much fat you're eating because your gout is going to be there. Even vegans get gout. Vegans have gout. It's like, I know it's amazing how there's a whole bunch of vegans and plant-based people out there. And once they start improving with a vegan plant-based diet, right, they're not out of the woods yet, but they think they're out of the woods yet. And then they just get sicker later because they're doing all these other practices. They got the fats cranking up. They're cranking the fats up. They got other stuff going on. And, you know, they just get in trouble. Sarah Hazel, I thought keto was the healthiest diet until I ended up with gout. Yo, that's what happens. The keto's for men that aren't sick. That's what keto's for. Keto diet. The old keto diet used to kill people. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? The old keto diet used to kill women. Yeah. I'm not exaggerating. I'm straight up. I was telling a doctor that the other day, and he said, you know what? I remember there was this case where there was a woman in his practice that left his practice, and it was years ago, and she just did this keto thing, and she had no glucose go to her system, go to her neurological system, had no glucose, her brain was missing the glucose, and she was on a keto. The old keto diet was you can't have a starchy vegetable, and you can't have a fruit. You can't have honey. You can't have anything. The old keto diet. Now, when women would adhere that, when they would go by that playbook and do it perfectly, no honey, no maple syrup, no coconut water, no avocado. The old keto diet, you weren't allowed to do the avocados, right? Avocado has sugar in it. See? You know, they brought the avocado in the newer keto diet. You see? The old keto diet killed a lot of women. They died. They just died. They were sick. No one knew what was wrong with them, and they died. They lost the glucose to their brain, and they died, and they ceased living. Okay? Now, the new keto diet turned into a non-keto diet. It's not the keto diet anymore. They use the same name, keto, but there's sugar in it everywhere. There's sugar in it everywhere. There's the avocados, there's the nuts and seeds, there's the nut butters, there's sugar in all that. Right? There's fat in there. And then the new keto diet's got berries in there. So what happened was medical medium information was against the old keto diet. Okay? And medical medium information has healed tens of thousands of people over through the years, tens of thousands before publishing the book, right? The book's the first book, right? It changed the shape of all the diets out there now, whether they understand that or not, whether people know that or not. The keto diet of the old day, I forewarned women about, because it will kill you. You lose your glucose to your brain, and if you're sick, you could die because of that, right? So I'm just caramelizing these onions right now, which are coming out nice. This pan's really hot as we speak. So let me just kind of talk a little bit more about this. This is really an important topic. It's a part of how things are just all screwed up out there. So now the keto diet, see, ketosis, your body would go into ketosis if you took sugar away, right? Well, now the keto diets, they have sugar in there, so you don't go into ketosis. So why is it called the keto diet? You ask yourself that. I ask you to ask yourself that. I'll ask myself that right now, okay? Why do they call it the keto diet when you can't go into ketosis anymore? Because they have berries in the keto diet and they have avocado in the keto diet. You can't enter the ketosis state. So why is it called the keto diet anymore? Because in alternative medicine, there's 1,000,000,001 screw-ups. Even your simple, wholesome keto diet of the day that's in the magazines, that's online, is screwed up and wrong. Wrong in the sense where they don't even understand it. Yeah, no, I'm on the keto diet. I'm a guru. I'm a trainer. I'm on the keto diet. Right? But they're on the keto diet, but they're not on the keto diet. You can't go into ketosis. You can't when you eat an avocado. Can't go into ketosis. You can't. You can only go into ketosis if you refrain from every single starchy vegetable, every single form of sugar, every single carbohydrate, and you just rely on meat alone. Andrea, are you saying we shouldn't have hardly any fat at all? What do you think about eating avocados, nuts and seeds, olives, coconut, and olive oil? Those are all healthy fats you just mentioned. Andrea, all healthy fats. Depends on how sick you are, right? If you're 21 years old, you're not really sick. got a little acne and you want to clean up your diet, you want to stop eating at the fast food restaurants, you want to stop partying, right? You know, like keep the alcohol down, clean up your diet, start to live a life where you're into health now and you want to do a little lifestyle channel or something on social media and you're 22 years old or something. And you're now doing avocados, nuts, and seeds and nut butters. You're doing peanut butter smoothies. You're doing peanut butter acai bowls, right? Yeah, you can get away with it if you're not that sick. You get sick, man. You want to back down on those fats, whether you're plant-based or animal protein. You want to back down on those fats. So I want to talk about keto for another minute too. So these are getting caramelized, all right? They're coming out really good. I'm about to put them in the bowl. So, all right, and then. But the keto diet today is not a keto diet. What it is, it's just a clean diet, right? But when you're sick, even the keto diet of today that has taken medical medium information and placed it into it, which are berries. No one cared about berries. It's 35 years of medical medium information going all the way back when I was trying to teach everybody about berries. No one cared about berries, right? And so now that the keto diet has berries in there, you're actually being protected a little bit. So your keto diet can actually get you by. But if you're a woman and you're sick, right, and you need more, you'll need more than just your plain old clean new keto diet. Keto diets are for men that aren't sick. They want to lose a little weight and they want to hop in the gym and start working out and then tell women why they're sick. And then tell women what they're doing wrong. You need to be on the keto diet like me and get into that gym. The keto diet is for is really designed for men that aren't sick, right? The keto diet if you're a woman and you're not sick and you want to do the keto diet and you get into the gym and you clean up all the donuts, cakes, and cookies, you're going to see benefits. But if you're really struggling with the condition, whole nother ballpark. That's when the keto diet can make you sicker and get you in trouble. And that's what happens, okay? So I'm just putting these onions in here. Like this. Now I'm going to cut some potatoes up. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, cut some potatoes up. I'm going to cube these. You take somebody that's really sick and they got neurological symptoms. They don't know why they're sick. They've been to a bunch of doctors. Maybe they were diagnosed with Lyme disease. Maybe they were diagnosed with something else. And they're really struggling, okay? And you take these potatoes are already steamed. Keep that in mind if you guys just came on here. They're already steamed. So I'm making the potato bowl, which is really fun to make. What was I frying the onion in? A little tiny bit of water. No oil needed. No oil needed at all. So now I'm going to put a little, these are already steamed, these potatoes. So I'm not going to I don't want that pan filled with water. I don't want this potato soup, okay? So I don't want this potato soup. These are potatoes, right? Steamed potatoes in here making the potato bowl. So, am I totally against, there's protocols, by the way, for gout in the medical medium books. So in the books. Cleanse the Heal has a protocol for gout in here. I'm not against the keto diet, a clean diet. If it's helping you stay out of, standard American diet, junk food, cakes, cookies, donuts, fried food, then I'm on board. But if you're really sick, we got to go to the next level, We just have to. Yeah. I've said this for years, right? Burger King used to say, we're the next level. We flame broil, okay? Liver Rescue, my book Liver Rescue too, I could show you, talks about gout, whole gout thing in there. All right, there we go. Got our potatoes in here. Burger King would be like, we flame broil. That's like the next step. That was the next step above what they used to say McDonald's. Burger King used to say, we're the next step above McDonald's. We flame broil. That's what they used to say, right? And then, And then you can go to the next step above Burger King, right? And now you're at another restaurant and they're doing more vegetables, more salads, right? So then you're at that place. Then you're at the next level, right? Next restaurant chain. That next restaurant chain, they're doing a little bit more salads. They're doing a little more vegetables. Now they got avocado going in there. So now they got guacamole in there, right? But they're still doing other stuff, right? So there's these tiers, right? Well, it's kind of like this. You can be keto diet, but take it to another level. You can be it's just like, it's all about the next level, the next level, the next level. Keto diet is a place you can go, but it's interesting stuff, actually. So I got some potatoes going on here. Ashley Kivin. What is the brand name for Celery Force, Candace? It's Vimergy. So do I have any Celery Force? There's Celery Force right there. I recommend it to friends and family. That, it's like, it just, for me, it helps me, it perks me up. That's, for me. Incredible. I love it for the brain. So I got some steamed potatoes on here, toasting up right here, which I'm excited about. So right now I have this bowl building up. I got the asparagus right here. You see this? I got the caramelized onion right here, the asparagus. Now I'm going to get ready to put potatoes in here too. Very excited. I'm going to toast up these are steamed potatoes. Came out of the fridge today. So great. Like, how easy is that? They're already kind of browning a little bit. This pan's really hot right now. Athena says thrush is a possible cause. I get that from using steroids. That's interesting. So, the point of this, the point of this live right now, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook. The point of this live is to talk about how we can avoid getting stunted, getting stuck, getting pushed back. And knowing information, knowing the knowledge is really important right there. Angie Wynn says, what's your opinion on B12 injections? Well, yeah, I just got my B12 injection. Yeah, no, I get them once every other week. What? They use the bad B12? You mean not like intravenous, like IV? You mean the injection, like they stick a needle in your arm to just jam you in your arm or your butt? That's the ones I get, right? Yeah, they're bad? What? Why are they bad? Oh, your body, when it comes down to B12, your body likes to receive it orally. So your body likes to get oral B12. I see. So you don't bypass the liver, your whole process, your digestion process, your liver. So the B12 has to go in your mouth and then find its way down to your ileum. Let me see if I got an ileum here. So your ileum down on the right side, that's when the small intestinal tract connects to the large intestinal tract. That B12 has to find its way down there because that's where you produce it. And then that gets driven up into the liver and then the liver converts it. I see. So when you stick B12 in your bloodstream directly in the arm, like this, you're not utilizing it. And then maybe could even build an allergy to B12 without the doctor ever knowing. And then there's an allergy to B12. I see. All right, I got to look out for that. I think what I'll do is just focus on the B12 drops in my mouth. Okay, bye. So what I like to do for friends and family, right? These are potatoes are actually coming out. These are coming out like hash browns. Whoa, love that. Like hash browns, you guys. So what I like to do with B12, here it is. The liquid B12 right here is the adenosylcobalamin and methylcobalamin. And the B12 shots, unless you got a doctor that's doing IVs, that's different, going directly into the vein. Uma Kali says, I got terrible allergic reaction after B12 shots. I'm not a fan of B12 shots. I've seen too many people get allergic reactions. There's preservatives in B12 shots. There's also the chance that your body could build an antibody against the B12 because the B12 is entering without your body's permission. When you enter it in the mouth or in the vein itself through intravenous, either or, right? Mouth is the best. I've always recommended, right? When you enter it in the mouth, your body's giving you permission, right? When it goes to the outside of the body and when it's a shot, a needle, it's going against the body's permission. The body might build an antibody to it so that you become sensitive to B12. I've seen this over and over again. I taught about this too for years, and I still can't believe it hasn't gotten out there. Well, if I keep on getting censored like I am today on Facebook and YouTube, it's no wonder why it doesn't get out there. But anyway, the B12, that's the liquid one, the adenosylcobalamin and methylcobalamin combined, right? The combination, that's the word the liver loves the most. What I recommend, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I recommend this one for my friends and family. That's the Vimergy, V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY.com, Vimergy.com. What about intravenous vitamin C? That's in your vein. Sammy Loom, that's in your vein. That's not a shot, like the B12 shot, right? The needle going into the arm, directly into the muscle in the bloodstream. When it enters into the vein, like a lot of practitioners do IVC. They throw some methylcobalamin in there. They throw multivitamin. They'll do the injection in your vein, right? That is different. Your body won't build an antibody against it. These are turning into toasty hash browns, and they're going to go in my potato bowl. God, I can't wait to eat this. I'm going to be shoving this down right in between now and TikTok. And then it's the right kind. You can get intravenous stuff, but is it still preservatives? There's intravenous vitamin C that's not the good kind of vitamin C. You have to make sure that's not corn-derived vitamin C intravenously. That's something to know there. But back to what we were talking about earlier, 10 steps forward, 25 steps back. We got to be careful. Got to make sure your IVs through intravenous, the vein, right? If you're doing nutritional therapies through IVs, that there's no preservatives. Important. That one there, all on its own. Or the vitamin C is a corn derived. That's another one too. Okay. These are actually done. They're nice and toasty. I am going to put these right here. See if I can do this right. So anyway, all this is important information. There's so many tidbits. Can I give you a quick rundown, you guys? Right? If I was trying to heal, I'd stay away from apple cider vinegar, nutritional yeast, diatomaceous earth particles, sodium bicarbonate. Right? Just lost one. I would stay away from bentonite clay. I'd stay away from clays in general. Okay? I would stay away from that. I would stay away from zeolite. I would stay away from alcohol and supplements, preservatives, stay away from natural flavors, stay away from MSG, stay away from milk, cheese, butter, gluten, eggs. I'd stay away from so many things because it's critical if you want to heal. So you guys, you can do a couple things with this. What I like to do is just sprinkle a little touch of, well, here's the thing. You guys, there's a medical medium hot sauce. There's a medical medium ketchup. There's a medical medium honey mustard or mustard. There's a medical medium fresh salsa. There's a medical medium. You can find these things, right? And I'm going to mix this. But you know what? I'm not going to mix it because I wasn't planning on mixing it. All right? But I'm going to lift up the onions right here. Lift them up and lift up the asparagus because I buried them is what happened. Okay? I could have used 2 onions because that's what I needed. So there's 1 onion in this one. Here's the caramelized onions. Here's the potatoes that were steamed originally and then kind of like refried in the pan. No oil, right? Incredible. That's your asparagus right there. That's steamed and cooked in the pan. How amazing is that? You love the medical medium salsa? Kaylin, Michelle, love the medical medium salsa. I do too. Love the medical medium salsa. Now, you can put cilantro on the bottom of this, all right? So I got some cilantro here. Now, what I didn't do is I didn't put the cilantro on the bottom and place this all on top, but you can. How amazing. You guys, I'm heading off to Instagram in a few minutes. I'm heading off to TikTok. So it's TikTok and Instagram live. And then after that, I'm heading to 369 on Instagram and TikTok. And that's going to take us later into the night. Why not zeolites? They dehydrate. They rob you of electrolytes. They're not the same zeolites of years before. They take electrolytes when you're sick and you got neurological problems. It's the last thing you want. And there's a lot of zeolite that's pushed into the medical medium community now. They're saying, oh, you need to have that with your medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie. No, you don't. No, you don't. The only reason why zeolite never gave anybody any benefits. No one saw benefits with zeolite all these years. It's been happening for 20 years and no one saw that, right? But the heavy metal detox smoothie, medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie, gave people benefits. So what did they do is they try to say, well, take it too with your heavy metal detox smoothie. And as people get benefits from the heavy metal detox smoothie, they think it's a zeolite because there's 20,000 admin now and MLM marketing and pyramid schemers working on it now and be like, no, it's your zeolite that did it. And they're all like, everybody's trying to sell a zeolite. I'm not saying that the people are bad that are doing it. Not at all. Their heart's in it. They're compassionate people, I'm sure, and all this other stuff. And I'm just saying that it's not the first time people try to hop on the medical medium bandwagon and try to push stuff that medical medium doesn't recommend. All right, love you guys. Heading off to IG and TikTok. And thanks for being